So I had originally started this, and then I stopped it because my mic had died, and then I forgot that I actually had two mics. So I just hooked up the other one right now, and hopefully this one doesn't die on me, and I have the other one charged. So hopefully y'all can hear me pretty good. I do have the windows kind of cracked, but essentially gonna. Thankfully, I caught it pretty soon. I don't know why. I just get in the habit of checking my mic after one time I was doing a sneaker recording video, and it had died on me at some point during the recording, and I had to re-record the video. It kind of sucked. Where am I at right now? Oh, I need to get over. Oh, boom. All right. Sorry. My hands are free, so nothing's being held on the camera. YouTube, just putting that out there. But yeah, like I said, I started the video. It was like 4 or 5 minutes in, realized the camera was dead. So I was like, man, maybe it's a sign not to do it. And I was telling myself, man, I need to be consistent, just get on it and do it. And I just kind of been in my feelings for some shit that happened this weekend. And yeah, but my brain just kind of clicked like, yo, you have another mic. And so I'm not trying to give myself an excuse to not do it. You know what I mean? So here we are. Things that, what do we have? All right, so Friday we started with gaming. They had a Marvel Rivals update going on. They had the season 2 now. They've introduced the character Emma Frost as a tank, and yo, they designed her thick. That girl is thick on the show. She got a shelf in the back, busty in the front. She looks like a magician's assistant. The way she's like geared up and stuff like that. Her abilities are dope too. Like she's somebody I'm definitely gonna want to learn to how to play with, just because she's cool. I don't really know tanks. I don't really do well with a lot of tanks. Groot is probably my best tank. I've tried Thor a little bit, but Groot's my guy. So yeah. What else do we want to say on that? They got a new level, which looks beautiful. I think it's called like Krakoa or something like that. Easily my favorite thing on the update probably is that. And a little side note, I made Groot all the way up to captain level, which was pretty dope. I don't know, something clicked this weekend on like just gaming. In terms of that game and just being more offensive, not as offensive, like just prioritizing certain stuff, focusing on what the character is good at and not worrying about like numbers and being MVP and all that stuff, which I never care about. But like for example, I play Groot. My numbers will never reflect that I did a good job because they don't show numbers like how I blocked. Like you might see my shit be like a 5, 1, and 3, or everybody's like 20s and something else, right? But my damage block, when you see that number, it's like, oh, okay, he actually did something, because like that means that was like, let's say it was like 10,000 block. That's 10,000 technically like hit points that could have been directed at your life, but it wasn't because I was just building walls to block that shit. So just give you an example if you haven't played the game. We also had the Bahrain race for Formula One this weekend, the second week of the triple header. Last week was Suzuka. This one's Bahrain. I don't know which one is coming up this week now that I think about it, but there is one. So that'll be something to look forward to this weekend coming up. But the race was solid. This week was actually the first week that I watched Formula 2 racing. Just because like I was thinking about it, like people who watch like football and basketball, like who really like the sport and love the sport, like they'll watch college ball and then like football or basketball, and then when the person is good enough that they actually go into like, let's say, the NFL or the NBA, then like, you know, you kind of have a history of the character. It's not the first time you're seeing them play. So like, you know, like for example, I wish I could have seen Lando Norris in Formula 2 if he was in Formula 2. I assume he was. Just because I saw him come in as a rookie to Formula 1. So like he could have been like my first full circle. Like I saw him from Formula 2 get the dubs, come into Formula 1 as a rookie, work his way up. I've seen him get his first dub. like in qualifyings and the actual racing, like everything. So I really like to see him win. I like Hamilton too. I like Max. There's not really anybody I dislike. Max can be a little aggressive, but I like his style. He tries the RB. I'm a JDM kid, so the closest link to JDM in that is going to be a Red Bull because it's got the Honda engine. So, as a JDM kid, Red Bull, I kind of favor Red Bull in the sense like how can I say it? Like my default is Red Bull because of Honda and all that shit. Plus, I know Red Bull course very well on Gran Turismo, so it's one of my the most fun courses to drive. I can drive that shit in my head. And but Lewis Hamilton is who got me into Formula One. So he's somebody that I've always liked to see. He's like I said, I credit him to getting me into the sport. Just because him being the first black guy and all that stuff, it's just very makes for entertainment. And the dude got skills. Like when I first got into it, it was like Schumacher, I think, was the main dude right there, and he was kind of coming in. And then when I first kind of really got into it, it was like kind of his run, but I wasn't watching it religiously like I do now. So I didn't really get into it that much, but now I do. So the Bahrain race this weekend was fire. Spoiler of the winner in 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to Oscar Piastri for winning the race. I don't think it's his first W, but dude's been putting in work this year. Like the first 3 other races already, like dude, I think he's been on podium for all 3, if I'm not mistaken. So dude's putting in that work. Like I like McLaren, so because of that, I kind of like to see him do good. But I kind of like his personality too. He's very calm. He doesn't. I don't know. He kind of just has a very stoicness vibe to him. He doesn't look like he ever really gets excited much. Even when he wins, he's kind of very calm, very chill. So it's nice to watch. What else? We had One Piece. The One Piece this weekend was dope. So I'm doing the anime reactions, right? And I still need to edit videos to upload. I always look at last week's episode or last episode so I can review what happened so that I can go into it like freshly remembering what's going to happen on the new episode. And this week, when I went to sit down and watch it, I was fast forwarding stuff and realized that there's a whole other snippet that I missed after the credits. So I had to watch that. Then I watched the full episode. And then when I was done, it wanted to autoplay to the next one. And I just realized, like, when the hell did we get a double header? It was either last week or this week, but there were 2 episodes that dropped. And I had no idea. So, my little job. So, yeah, so I saw episode 1124, yesterday. And I get home and I'm going to watch 1125 today. And that should put me current with what I got to do. I got to record the videos for the Yuto Matcha and do the B-roll shots for them. No lie, I might record the video outside. Just because the shoe is green and with all the greenery, just to do something different. I might do that. That's actually a great idea. That's what I'm going to do. And I might do the B-roll outside too. Just because the shoe is like the Yuto Matcha. And Yuto's my favorite. Yeah. This might be an outside thing today. Yeah. I just got to make sure I have good lighting. But that might be the move. We'll see when I get home how I feel about it. But I gotta record that. I'd like to edit it and post it tonight, if possible. I'm not gonna do no gaming. Depending on what the missions are for the day, I might skip gaming today, just to focus on. Actually, scratch that. The only way I'm gaming today is if my battery is low on just life. But even then, I got stuff that I got to do on the PC that I can do because I need to start editing my reaction videos for real and start posting them. Because that's content right there. I can just be posting that one video, snipping it into a bunch of stuff, and then there you go. That's it. So what else was there? I think that's it. I finally set up my 3D printer this weekend. When I say set up, I mean like I've kind of had it out and like built, but I hadn't like leveled the bed. I still gotta buy filament to put filament in it, but in terms of getting the bed leveled, letting it auto level afterwards and do its own thing after getting manually leveled, all that part is done. I already have files that have been made, so that's ready to start getting done. Um, yeah, I have two things for sure. Excuse me. I have two things for sure that I want to start making. One of them is going to be like a phone stand, like for a desk. And this is interesting. This symbol always gives a reflection, but I've never worn purple, I don't think. And I can actually see where all the purple hits, like where all the, I don't know, whatever. Um, 3D printer. I have a phone stand that I want to do, and I have a Funko Pop that like a Funko Pop display thing that I would like to sell that I've been thinking about doing. So I need to see how that's gonna play out. Yeah, I need to see how that's gonna play out. I need to still build. I need to still design a base for the Funko thing. But in terms of where the Funko is gonna sit, that's already done. So we'll see how long it takes, how much material it takes, all that kind of stuff, and then see if we can sell it. Like I might start. It's one of the reasons I bought the 3D printer. Is one because I draw. I do a lot of artistic things. And I kind of create my own stuff. I'm like my grandfather was very what do you call it? Like MacGyver, just a very jacks of all trades, knew how to do everything. So I kind of skipped a generation, and I inherited that. So having a 3D printer is actually fucking useful for somebody like me who likes to just make and design and like engineer stuff. Really, I'm like an engineer a little bit, like at heart. So I like to create. Even these videos, you're technically like a video engineer in a way, or a content engineer. So, excuse me. I am tired, but like I said, I'm not. I'm trying to get in the habit. Even right now, like I really didn't want to make the video or this strictly because what I'm going through in my head and what I went through yesterday. But it's kind of like going to the gym. Like the days you don't want to go are the days you should go. The day, like today, the day I don't want to do this is the day that I should do it just because it's going to show my discipline and my focus to do this. Something that I was mentioning before I realized that my mic had died on the other video was that one, I might start making these podcast episodes just to say I have a podcast and I can just be, I don't have to worry about editing or nothing like that. Like this is it. And I might turn it so that it sits like landscape, portrait, landscape, landscape. But yeah, I might make this into a post-its. And fuck, I forgot what else was the other one. Sorry, podcast. I don't know why I said post-it. As you can see, my mind is, I have no focus right now. My mind is everywhere. There's so many things I want to do. Um, I wish there was just another me right now, like a shadow clone jutsu type shit for the whole starting the brand. That's what I was gonna get on. So this morning I did something that I've done before, but I guess the intent and the energy behind it today was a little bit more focused, a little bit more intense on my part, where I was driving and I kept repeating to myself in my head, I have a successful clothing brand, I have abundance all around me. I said that shit the entire drive to work, which is like a 5 to 10 minute drive. Like it was legit. And sharinga, because sharinga is like a word for me in my subconscious, so that I can tell myself that I can see clearly, so we can start training my mind to know like, yo, we can see. Um, but the majority of it for sure was I have a successful clothing brand. I have a successful clothing brand. I have a successful clothing brand. And I was just saying it out loud, not just in my head, but out loud, like causing a vibration through space with my vocal cords, like having a frequency of the desire be created, like focused. And I get to work today. I take off the long sleeve. I have this shirt on. It starts getting hot because I start lifting boxes. And the sun today is making my eyes go. You could have made that. You could have made that. And then you're gonna stop way over the line. You a piece of shit on every sense, in every sense of the word. The only thing you're gonna be more of a piece of shit now is if you try to reverse. Because then that's just intentional. And then I'm gonna honk and be very fucking obnoxious. So I lost my train of thought again, man. Fuck. I keep thinking the word Funko in my head, but that's not what I was talking about. It'd be nice if there was somebody out here that could remind me what the fuck was I talking about before I forgot what I was saying. Wasn't initially had been about making these podcast episodes. It was about doing something. Oh, the clothing brand. So I take off my hoodie. My supervisor sees my shirt. He says, "Bro, the color of that shirt is pretty hard. Like I like how that shirt looks." Because I have other shirts, and this is the first time he's complimented it without like me showing him. He kind of just saw it and was like, "Hey, that shirt looks pretty hard." A couple minutes later, I mean, 10, 15 minutes later, one of the owners shows up at the warehouse, and he sees my shirt, and he says he likes it too, and has requested to purchase like two other shirts, like a blue one with some white, and then a white on black. So um, I would like to. I've been looking about getting the embroidery machine. I have some funds that I need to kind of get from somewhere else, which I should have, and if I do, then I'm gonna take that. Order. There's a brother. I think it's SE700 sewing machine sewing slash embroidery machine that I've been looking at. It's got like great reviews. It's very like beginner friendly. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's got a 4 inch by 4 inch window space to like embroider in. I wish it was bigger. I'm not gonna complain, even though that's what I'm doing right now. But like my goal is gonna be eventually like I'll invest back into the business, make profit. Maybe start off with like a size run, get the machine down, get the skills down of everything I need to know to really get the machine down, um, to increase my success rate, and then from there like start investing like the profits I make, reinvest it back in, make some more, do some more, flip it to where eventually I can buy it like a dope ass embroidery machine. I think embroidery would be the way to go. Like, I think I'll do embroidery for like The only shirts that would be screen printed were probably gonna be like screen tees. Like I'll have some screen tees printed out, um, because I would like to make clothing wear for people that go to the gym and stuff like that. And then the embroidery will be for like that, like the everyday clothing, like not gym, but just like your average wear. I still need to see what pricing is gonna be like in terms of like what it would cost for material with the threads and all that kind of stuff, what it breaks down to in the long run, the time, all those kind of things. Like I still need to factor in all that stuff, but I still want to make it affordable. I still want, like, that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to do a lot of the shit myself, is because a lot of the profits, first of all, come straight to me. There's nothing else that I have to worry about unless I get to a point where I'm big enough to where I don't mind outsourcing the job, because I have enough people buying it that like I'm okay with the margins that are coming in profit wise. Does that make sense? So, and embroidery is gonna open the window to me for a lot of colors I don't have to worry about with embroidery with screen printing, and I can do patches and stuff like that. And then embroidery just has like a higher level of quality, kind of like if you hear somebody having like, oh, my shit's embroidered, like there's a level of, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, professionalism. Like, no, not professionalism, but it's like something along those lines. Like there's just a level, like you got Hanes, Fruit of the Loom, then you got like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different like tiers to just brands in that sense. And I feel like if you do embroidery, like that already is gonna show you as being somewhat top notch ish. I feel.